I'm Ryan Ashker. Welcome to the Sports News. Here are this week's headlines. The Wisconsin Badgers held their spring game this past weekend with 50-year senior Joel Stavely only playing one series in the game, showing that new head coach Paul Chryst has Stavely slated as the Badgers starter for next season. The starters for Wisconsin won the game with a score of 35-7. Stavely, the former walk-on from Greenfield, completed both passes he attempted in his lone series, including a 38-yard pass to Alex Harrison and a 17-yard shot to Rob Wheelwright. Last year's opening day starting quarterback Tanner McAvoy is slated as a safety for the upcoming season. Madison was flooded this past Saturday when thousands of entrants took the streets for the 34th annual Crazy Legs Classic downtown. The 8K event, named after former Badger great Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch, was started in 1982. Fitting with the Madison tradition, runners received a free beer after they crossed the finish line. In the women's division, Verona native Caitlin Comfort had the best time with a 27:48, and for the men, Madison resident Tyler Mueller closed in with a time of 24:14. In Janesville, the University of Wisconsin Whitewater women's tennis team captured its 8th straight WIAC tournament title, defeating UW-Cross 7-2. The Warhawks are currently 22-4 with the conference's automatic bid to the NCAA Division III championship. The Warhawks earned their spot in the title match after shutting out UW-Oshkosh 5-0 in the semifinals. The University of Wisconsin Superior announced they will be adding 2 sports starting in the 2015 fall semester. The Yellow Jackets will be adding men and women's golf program, according to athletic director Steve Nelson. The announcement will bring back the women's golf program that was scrapped after the 2008-2009 academic year, while the men's team will return after a 30-year hiatus. Schedules for the teams will be released at a later date. The WIAA Board of Control has voted to suspend membership dues and fees for 2 years, while giving a final approval to conference realignment. During their April meeting, the action was made to assist schools in maintaining interscholastic athletic programs and opportunities. Last year, the WIAA received over $420,000 in membership dues and fees, while returning over $2.7 million to members throughout tournament fees and participation. The National Football League has released its 2015 schedule, which includes a Thanksgiving game at Lambeau Field for the Green Bay Packers, as the longest rivalry in the league will be rekindled against the Chicago Bears. The game will have added attention as the Packers are expected to retire the great number 4, that of former 3-time league MVP Brett Favre. Other notable games include a rematch against the Seattle Seahawks in Week 2 primetime. This season will kick off Sunday, September 13th at noon, while the Packers take on those very same Chicago Bears. Stay tuned. We'll have more of the sports news coming up right after this, brought to you in part by The Red Zone. Welcome back to the Sports News. Right now I'm joined by a very good coach and a good friend of mine, Justin Blackburn out of Belleville High School. Justin, thanks for joining us here today.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about the team. This was your second season at Belleville as the head coach, correct?
Yes.
And how did you guys fare this year?
We were very competitive in most of our games. We're trying to build steps forward with our program, be more competitive in the conference. Last year, I think we made some good steps. We won 3 games. We were really close in some of our losses. But we had a great group of guys that fought hard for us last year.
And can you tell us just a little bit about your history? You've been at Belleville for a while as an assistant, now as the head coach. I know you and I worked together with the Madison Mustang organization a few years ago. So where have you come from as a coach?
Well, I started out in Monroe. That's where I graduated high school, and I got on there as a volunteer. Coached there for a couple of years. Learned about the Mustangs, coached up there with Adam Smith for about 3 years. Then I had an opportunity to go to Belleville as a defensive coordinator. Took that position, the head coaching job opened up, and they asked me to do it. I was like, yep, I'll do that.
Well, when you're looking ahead, kind of getting your program set in place, how you want things to go, what's the expectation you have going into next season?
Well, next year, we're hoping to take a bigger step forward in the conference, be more competitive. We have a great group of seniors next year, big class. We're hoping to lean on them for some good leadership and just to be very competitive next year.
And with that, you had a good group of talent last year. Can you go over maybe some of the individual accomplishments some of your players achieved?
Sure. Ryan Hayes, our quarterback, was first team all-conference. Brandon Szymanski, he was a wide receiver, defensive back, first team all-conference for both of those. Brandon also ended up being an all-state wide receiver. He's going to be playing in the all-star game this summer. So we're really excited about that. We've had a couple guys that will be returning that won some second team all-conference awards too. So.
And with that, a couple of those players, I understand a few are going to be playing at the next level as well. Can you mention them?
Yeah, Ryan Hayes is going to be going up to Oshkosh and playing, and Brandon is going to Platteville to play.
Fantastic. Well, you have a moment yet. Can you let us know how your first year as coach went, maybe some of the growing pains you've had taking over that program?
Sure. Actually, my first year was great. It went very smoothly. Had a lot of support from the school, the parents, the community, my family. And I have great coaches around me that really make things easy for me. So it was a really great and fun year.
Fantastic. Justin, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Great, Fred. Justin Blackburn, great coach down at Belleville High School. Thanks for joining us here today. We'll be back with more of the sports news right after this. Hello and welcome back to the sports news. Right now I am joined by Tiffany Bischel and Haley Fies of Belleville Cheer. Ladies, thanks for joining me here today.
Thank you for inviting us.
Of course. Tell us a little bit about being cheerleaders for Belleville. What does that consist of? What do you guys do? Kind of sports you cheer for? Stuff like that. Tell us a little bit about it.
Haley?
Well, we mainly cheer for football, but we do like halftime shows for basketball as well. And we also do competition cheer as well. And yeah.
How many competitions do you compete in?
4. Well, 4 this year, and I think it was 4 last year.
And what do those consist of?
A bunch of different teams come together usually, and it's just we compete and do like our halftime performances, kind of over and just perform them and try and make them better.
So are they graded? Are they scored? How do the competitions kind of get?
Yeah, they're scored. We're scored in tumbling, dancing, cheering, and stunting, and each one is an individual score. So you have about 4 judges, and each one of them gets either stunting or cheering, and then all the scores are put together at the end for the final score.
All right. Now you guys have been doing this for a while. What are some of the things you enjoy most about being part of the cheer squad?
I enjoy a lot of our community work that we do. Like we work with a lot of the children a lot of times, and it's just a lot of fun going out for football games and making people's spirits higher when we're performing and cheering, even if we're down a lot of points. It's better to make somebody get up and cheer for the team and get the spirits higher.
And you mentioned that you work with children and do some clinics and things like that. What are some of the other things you ladies individually and the team does to give back to the community of Belleville?
Well, as a team, we usually will do we usually do a lot of
Fundraisers.
Yes, fundraisers. And we do the clinics as well with children, which is where we bring in a lot children that aren't in high school, and they come in and they get t-shirts and stuff, and we teach them some of the cheers and some stunts that we do. And then we take them to either a football game or a basketball game, and then they perform it we perform with them, and it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, it gets really crazy, especially with as many kids as it is. I think we had 50 last time, and it's screaming kids that you have to deal with, but it's a lot of fun once you see the final result, and you're just like, oh, my little ones, they're all grown up, and then we know how our coach feels when he sees us.
Understandable. Well, ladies, thank you very much for coming in today.
Thank you.
That is Tiffany Bischel and Haley Fies of Belleville Cheer. We'll be right back with more of the sports news after this. And welcome back to the sports news. Right now, I am joined by Derek Shear of Race Day Events. Derek, thanks for stopping in today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
And I understand you're here. We're going to talk a little bit about aquathons. What exactly is that? Tell us a bit about it.
Well, an aquathon is a swim and run. It's like a triathlon without the bike. And we're doing them on Thursday nights, and they're a really, really fun event where you do a 1,000-meter swim and a 5,000 or 5K run. And those are about equal distances, so it's a lot of fun.
And I understand you have some pretty, bigwig athletes that stop in and do these with you.
Well, it's really cool, Madison community, because we've got the Ironman triathlon, and we've got really great roads out there, and so people love to do triathlon, and we've got people that come to do this Thursday night fun event, like the national champion in triathlon and Ironman Wisconsin champion Jackie Herring, and professional triathletes like Blake Becker. So it's really good.
And with that, you mentioned you have some champions that come out, some big-time athletes. You don't need to be a champion or qualify to compete, do you?
Oh, absolutely not. No, we have all shapes and sizes come out. Lots of folks that are just learning to do triathlon. It's a great opportunity to come out and do an open water swim if you haven't done, most of the time around here it's pool swimming because it's too cold. Or if you are just, getting into multi-sport, it's a great way to get into multi-sport. So we have people that come in like professional triathletes, but we have most of the people are just all shapes and sizes like you and me.
And is that something where they come in as a team? Is it a team event or individual?
Well, we do have a couple of people do it as a team because they don't want to do the run or they don't want to do the swim. But for the most part, it's all individuals, and they're getting a good workout and they're having a lot of fun.
With that, can you tell us when and where this takes place in case some of our viewers might want to either participate or come out and watch?
Oh, absolutely. So we've got the races happen at Warner Park Beach, which is on the north side of Lake Mendota. And the swim goes off the beach and it comes back in, and then you run around the trails of Warner Park. We're doing them on Thursday nights. We've got May 21st, June 11th, July 9th, July 23rd, and August 13th.
Well, there you go, learning all about aquathons today. Derek, thank you so much for joining us here on the Sports News today.
Absolutely, thank you.
That is Derek Shear of Race Day Events. Check that out, as well as some aquathons going on in Madison this summer. We'll be right back with more of the sports news after this. Hello and welcome back to the sports news. Right now I am joined by Sun Prairie Baseball. We have Rob and Drew Hamilton as well as Marcus Reuter. Guys, thanks for joining us here today.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
And I understand Sun Prairie Baseball has been very successful. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the past accomplishments and what you guys have been able to do as a team?
Well, we have had some very good fortune. We were able to win 5 Big 8 titles in a row. We're trying for our 6th right now, and we were able to win 3 state titles the last 3 years in a row, so we're trying for our 4th there as well.
Wow, that's a lot of jewelry you guys have accomplished over just a couple years. Is there a specific kind of secret to that success, or what do you guys do at Sun Prairie that maybe some other teams haven't caught on to yet?
Well, I think one of the big things is we have a real big support from our community, and it takes a lot of people in order to have the success I think that we've had. And it also comes from a lot of hard work put in by these kids that are in our program. But when you have Prairie Athletic Club, Andy Thompson and Kevin Feiner, both former players and both played professional baseball, are working with these kids through Baseball XL and lessons. And we have another individual, Mike Cullen, who also played professional baseball that lives in our town, that does a great job with our fall ball and summer ball and individual lessons. As we spoke earlier, we have a turfed infield supported by the community, and they did a really great job in backing us and helping out with donations and whatnot. And so there's a lot of reasons for our success. Again, a lot of it stems from the hard work that these guys are putting in and the talent that they have.
And with that success, looking to go forward and keep that going, what about this season? How are you guys doing?
Right now I think we are 7-2. Had some good wins, and we've had some games where we've struggled a little bit, but I think we'll be all right.
And how long have you guys been playing baseball? What do you guys kind of get out of it? What do you enjoy most about the sport?
I think we enjoy most just being together and being able to be out on that great field and in front of a great community. And I think we just enjoy playing the game and getting to meet new people and like bonding as a family.
Fantastic. That's what it's all about. Well, I want to thank all of you guys for joining us here today. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Once again, that is Sun Prairie Baseball. We have Rob and Drew Hamilton as well as Marcus Reuter. We'll be right back with more of the sports news after this. Hello and welcome back to the sports news. Right now, I'm joined by Haley Boyle, events chair, the Blondes team captain for Blondes versus Brunettes, the Alzheimer's awareness game. A great event. If you guys have a chance to check that out, I strongly suggest it. Haley, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about the game for maybe some of our viewers that haven't seen it before?
Yes, it is a game between the age-old rivalry of blondes versus brunettes. Women play ball and the men coach. We have a month-long kind of season where we practice, and then the game is on May 3rd, as you mentioned, and it's for raising awareness and funds for the Alzheimer's Association. And we do this because Alzheimer's mainly affects women, so 2/3 of Alzheimer's patients are women, as are the caretakers. So we're trying to raise awareness in the community, to women in the community.
And as you mentioned, the women play ball while the men coach. The women that play, who are they? Where do you get them from?
That's a great question. Anywhere. We kind of recruit we go out to restaurants and bars and friends and family members, and we kind of will go anywhere there are active women. We have a few women that already play in a flag football league, so anywhere we can find them.
I guess obviously, aside from the obvious reason, which is to help Alzheimer's research, why do the women play beside the obvious reason? What makes them want to go out there and have fun with that?
Well, I think it's a great way to actually raise awareness and funds. So everyone has a walk or a run or whatever, and this is the only game in the state, flag football game in the state. It's a great way for women to become active or who are already active. We have a lot of women who have weight loss goals, and they heard about this event and thought it was a great idea to kind of help them in those respects. So.
And you mentioned the game is coming up May 3rd, correct?
Yes.
May 3rd. And where's that going to be played at this year?
It's going to be at Kiva Sports Center in Middleton, and kickoff is at 1 p.m.
So see if you guys can make it out to that. There's also several other ways to get involved, are there not?
Yes, we can have sponsors. We have presenting sponsors this year, tables at the game, beer sponsors at the game. You can drink at Kiva, and just donating to the women in general.
Okay. I have a feeling I know what way you're going to go on this, but do you have any predictions for the game? How do you think the outcome is going to shake out this year?
Well, we have two winners. We have a fundraising winner, and we have the game winner. The first year, blondes won the game, brunettes won fundraising. Last year, brunettes won the game, blondes won fundraising. This year, blondes are way ahead fundraising. I've been working my butt off, and I'm pretty sure the blondes are going to win. We've got a lot of athletic talent this year. And Patrick Rohde, your friend, is our coach.
Rohde, oh boy. So Haley's calling a sweep for the blondes this year. So for the brunettes watching, you got to step your game up. That is May 3rd, Kiva Sports Complex, and kickoff at 1 o'clock, correct?
1 p.m.
Okay, so see if you guys can make that out. A great cause goes to Alzheimer's research. Haley, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
That is Haley Boyle, events chair of the Blondes team captain and Blondes vs. Brunettes. Thank you for tuning into the sports news today. My name is Ryan Ashker, and we'll see you right here next time.